to the point where I walk the highway. They've been doing work on the main highway here on the bridge. And so there's been large traffic jams, large traffic backups. And I go and I walk down the row of cars playing my flute. And I had some dreams about it. And in the dreams, I was fighting like legions of demons. And when I saw the traffic back up, and Spirit was like, you got to go down there and walk along walk along the road with all these thousands of cars, and you got to play your flute and just do your thing. Like, you cannot allow other people's vibration, fear, anger, hate. Those are the demons. You cannot allow those feelings to interfere with your frequency. So I went and I walked and I did my thing. And to the point where there was a carload of gang members. Clearly they were very, troubled, wounded people. And they threw their bottles of alcohol out of the window of their car at my feet and gave me a bow and was like, thank you for the performance. So it's like, if you show up with everything that you have, the love that you have within you, wherever you go, you meet that love. And it doesn't matter what armies of demons you're facing, because this is a spiritual, we live in an energetic spiritual reality. We're experiencing it in a physical, and you can't ignore that stuff in the physical. You have to speak out when there's, these demons of fear, hate, anger. You have to speak out. But when you meet them with the presence of love, not resentment, not rejection, not these other negative feelings. So that's just my experience, and how I, put my own spiritual walk into practice. So that's all I got.
Well, and Grace, I do thank you. And when you were speaking, I actually had some cool ideas. I thought of drive-by sound bath and how fun that would be. Like, to gather just people and just drive by places that are full of suffering, and whether it's anger or fear or whatever.
If you find a place of suffering, I just recommend you sit down with your flute and you just start playing something beautiful. Like, you don't have to do anything else. I mean, I can't tell you how many places I've walked through, and I used to take and do my practice through all the major airports of this country. And I would sit down at the gate, and, of course there's delayed flights and people are stressed and angry. And I just rolled out my little goat skin, because I travel with a goat skin and a flute. And I sit down and I bring out my little bell and ring my bell. And I played as nice, the best flute music I could play at the time. You're always getting better, but in the beginning it wasn't that good. No. But as I gave myself to it, I got more confident and my flute playing got better, and people at the gate stopped getting angry, and the people would come over and thank me for playing and making the airport a pleasant experience for them. So, I mean, how many times have you had someone come over from the airport and go, thanks for coming to the airport today, because you really helped me get through a very negative experience? I mean, that is just walking the path of peace and love. It's like, we are here to be light warriors. I consider myself a warrior of light, and the warrior of light is, and there is the Shambhala tradition. The prophecies are that the warriors of light, the Shambhala warriors, go into the heart of darkness. They go into the places that have the most structures of darkness, and they dismantle those structures. And the only way you do that is you've got to face that darkness inside of you, so that when you meet it in the outside world, you don't have a hook to it anymore. You don't have an attachment to it. You see it for what it is, and you just bring your beauty. So, that's if for people who want to awaken themselves on the planet and have the whole planet therefore awaken, that's what we got to do. We got to meet the darkness, and we got to bring the love.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
And this is, by the way, in all the traditions I practice many of them. They all have different initiations and steps to do this process. And if you look closely at these traditions, they all have the same process. They all have the end, the result of these processes create the same sort of being within you. And, when you study across multiple traditions, you find more tools. And that's what we got to do. We got to find all the tools we can to increase our spiritual fortitude.
Yeah, amen. I would even say like connecting to that hero's journey. Like I think what you're talking about so deeply is resonating with that. But yeah, please, Grace, share, drop some vibrational music with that because I need to absorb what you just said.
Yeah.
And you keep it so simple. You know, spirituality is not simple, it's not complicated. The truth is very simple. When people talk a lot and have all kinds of intellectual stories, I just go the other way. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. And do
Beautiful.
we still have Sudama? Sudama, are you still here? Did you meet your client?
I am. I got to jump in about 2 minutes, but yeah, I'm here.
Please, yeah. I always love hearing your voice and your thoughts. And you like Grace, and so many of you here have so much amazing insight. Maybe you'd like to add something.
Well, I just thought I didn't catch the beautiful gentleman's name who just played sitar, but I love what you shared. It's absolutely right on. I totally support every word you said there. It's we are powerful light workers, and the world needs us, and wherever we show up and we bring our beautiful vibration, and the universe is like a computer. It's like an algorithm. It's going to respond to us perfect to where we're at. So I don't think we have to worry so much about changing the world. We just be that. It's so awesome. Yeah. We are the pure I am consciousness. We're these immortal beings everywhere we go. The astrology is swirling around us, right? Like a great swamp. And yet we radiate, we smile, we expand, and then the swamp gets clearer. So yeah. So I've got actually 11:30 I have to go, but next week. Namaste, G's.
Yes, would love a
Hariom,
month,
hariom.
a prayer. Thank you very much. Bye.
Hey,
I am gonna
cheers.
drop. So we, as you guys know, this is a Zenda, right? So we go in and out, and we flow, and there's some people not showing themselves right now. They're like ninjas watching this, which is cool too. But we move in and oh, there's Gurunam. She's in Honolulu. Hello. Let's share some of Honolulu. So what I'm gonna do now? Oh, nice, Stephanie. Sweet. Stephanie's got the bowl. We got another bowl over here. So I figured let's quickly do a quick like meditation or like let's recite a mantra maybe, right? And let's start actually really simply with right now because this is something that's particularly important to me being sick. There's something that's been very healing and helping me, like to like not get caught in a mindset of like darkness or anger or whatever that those feelings are, right? Like trying to. So what I've been using is the mantra of Waheguru, right? And so,
I could do it in the harmonium.
sure, that'd be great. So So Waheguru, right? Like before I even share it with you guys and whoever's like, some of you guys have already recited it before, but Waheguru for us is like this connection. This under like what Sudama was saying is a connection to this universal connection, like this, like understand that we're all connected. There's an interweaving connection between all of us, and there's a teacher that is in all of us, that's within all of us. There's some sort of like light that's pervading through everything, not just humans, but animals and other beings and you, whatever you want to believe in. And so Waheguru is that understanding. So what I do with this Waheguru chant is it's mixed with Satanam as well. So I do Satanam and Waheguru, and the Satanam is just like basically, if I were to translate it from Gurmukhi, it's the truth. It's a true vibration, right? Like whatever. I mean, that's not even the right word for it, right? It's just like that acknowledgement of what is the truth, and like acknowledging it. So Satnam Waheguru. Here we go. So we're gonna go Sat. Wait, hold on, man. Nam Satanam Waheguru 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 Satanam Satanam Waheguru Waheguru Satanam Satanam Waheguru Waheguru Satanam Satanam Waheguru Waheguru Satanam Satanam Waheguru Waheguru Satanam Satanam
Satanam Waheguru. Thank you, Rishi.
Thank you. Wait, is that God? Hello?
Thank you, Rishi. Satanam Waheguru Satanam Waheguru Waheguru.
I've been hitting Guru and I'm up to work on some, collaborative, singing and music stuff. So we'll get there. We'll get there.
We will get there, Grace.
You're doing it right here. It's happening right now.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Grace, for reaching out.
There was actually a couple comments I just wanted to clarify. So the gentleman who got off, Mark, he mentioned, we're like computers. I totally, completely reject using those types of metaphors because computers are a man-made creation that reflects an infinite reality, but I would never compare the infinite reality, the divine life force that we are, to something that is man-made in a non-organic form, right? Because we are fighting. Our spiritual reality is being challenged by a materialist, non-organic reality that the elites are trying to push on us. And at the core of that reality is AI. And their agenda is to get us to think about AI and a non-organic reality is just as valid as a biological light reality. And the thing is biology is the ultimate technology. I mean, I don't even like to use the word technology, but the light itself, the divine life force, is our reality. It is the God force itself. To even compare it to a technology is like almost in a way degrading it, but I know these metaphors and ideas get thrown around a lot. I'm very careful about using them because I don't want people to get confused. There's a lot of young people that think that downloading their consciousness into a computer is going to be a good thing for them, and let me believe you, it's not. Your consciousness living in an organic body is the highest form of evolution, and we're here to evolve that even farther. The other thing too is it's important when I say that we meet these dark things inside of ourselves is that not to reject them inside the self. And this is, partly plant spirits, ayahuasca, and other medicine journeys you can take. They take you to meet these places in yourself. We have all been programmed by our family traumas and the culture that we live in, and these programs exist inside of us. And the shamanic path that I practice, you spend a lot of time going and looking for these programs. You don't ever go outside and look for them. You go inside and look for them, and you have to meet these dark places in yourself. These programs exist in you, and you have to go find them and dismantle them. And it's extremely difficult. It's extremely painful. And you have to get rocked to your core when you find one of these very angry, like the emotions have to come out. If you have an anger stuck in you, if you keep getting triggered and angry because of what you're seeing in the collective, it's because that anger lives in you. And it lives in you because there's a trauma there that needs to be responded to, and it needs to be witnessed. And when you go and find that trauma and the anger is finally released, it comes out like a supernova. It comes out like a volcano. And you got to have the foundation of a great spiritual practice to sit and be present with that volcano and allow your anger to come out, but not have it harm anybody. And that's what I find in so many traumatized people that I work with, is that they're afraid of their anger because they were around angry parents. And so if you reject anger because the angry parent was always attacking you, you have a fear of anger. And let me tell you, you need to feel your anger, and you need to let that anger out, but let it out in a way that doesn't harm anybody. And when I had to meet those places in myself, I was in the woods, I hugged a tree, and I screamed and yelled, and the tree took it all. The Pachamama, the earth, took my anger and it transmuted it into joy, peace, bliss. So I just wanted to clarify that that's the process. You don't reject the emotions. You got to feel those emotions. So
I do agree with you, Grace. In the first part, I did also think anti against the whole kind of computer, that we're not in the matrix. I do believe, there is going to be, I think, a conflict greater because, for instance, my wife decided to buy something called the mirror. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's a device that have you ever heard of it? Okay, so the mirror is a device that you hang on your wall, and then it's essentially having people piped in so that you can do different workouts, even yoga to meditation, and it's a little bit, look it up. It's a little bit, it was brought
a little creepy.
It's a little creepy, but I
Yeah.
bring that up because, Grace, what you're saying, I think, is a really powerful thing. And I think as we move towards our own transcendence, and certainly you are, when I listen to it really gives me hope about the light. And then I also was going to ask you about what you meant about more light coming into the world and what you meant by that, not
Yes.
our own individual light, but more light. And I do believe that, there is this race with artificial intelligence and technology, and superpowers, i.e. companies and corporations, from Elon Musk doing things with artificial, inserting things into our brain. Yeah, so there's a lot of things going on in the world. And I do feel there's this conflict. Like yesterday, my sister, was sharing, I was out in my backyard talking. She said, gosh, every time I hear you talking, it feels like you're in some sort of, bird sanctuary. There's this one bird that has the most beautiful sounds. And I captured it. Actually, I played it back and the bird swooped down thinking I was another bird. But it was the funniest thing. It has the most beautiful sounds, but being in nature and then being in tune and then, being present, for me, pulls me away from the world. I mean, ironically enough, we talk about this, but we're using technology and we're going through a system right now to be able to communicate with one another. But I do agree with you on this whole technology and saying, we're, in this sort of computer situation. But I think more and more nature is really, for me, the place that I find the most balance to then go back out in the world and give. But I was going to also ask you what you meant by the light earlier on too.
Yeah. So I don't know if people follow this, but there is a Russian satellite page you can actually follow, and maybe I'll provide the link here in the notes on the Schumann resonance. So the Schumann resonance is the frequency of our planet, and it is going up and up and up. It is not going back down. So if you exist at the old frequency of the planet, you are being disintegrated. It's the Schumann frequency is going to continue to climb. And that's because our planet, starting back in the late 1990s, started to move into an area of space that NASA calls local fluff. And what this in fact is it's a high frequency energy plasma cloud that's 30,000 light years long. And we started to come into that cloud. And that cloud is hotter than the sun. The sun's own magnetic field for our solar system protects us from that high source of energy, but it also is increasing the inputs of the sun's light, right? So we're getting more cosmic light coming in, and the sun is also changing its frequency as well as the planet. And all the other planets in our solar system are heating up. Right? There is observable phenomenon on all the other planets that's unexplainable, that's happening now due to this plasma, interacting with our solar system. So if that is a sort of an astronomic view. It also matches with the astrology. So if you follow astrology, right now, the last few years, we've been going through it with the 3 major planets in Capricorn. And Capricorn is the patriarchy. The patriarchy is getting destroyed because we will no longer have a planet that exists with a patriarchal culture. The patriarchy can't exist. This crossroads we're coming to, the technologies that is going to come out of the new evolution of humanity is going to be all technologies that are life supporting, and they are actually already exist. If you listen to like military insiders that have come out of these secret programs and blabbed a little bit, these free energy and all kinds of amazing technologies already exist. We already have them. They're just kept from humanity because if these technologies were released, we wouldn't need money anymore. And without money, there's no control. So we are right on the cusp of a major evolution in human consciousness. And it's darkest before the light. It only seems like.
So is that, then Grace, is that, you said that patriarchy will go away, is then that nature abhors a vacuum, so then that releases the feminine and the matriarch?
Yes. So when the patriarchy is crumbling now, right? As the crumble happens, we have an opportunity for us, the light workers, who have been repressed in the past, to fully turn on, like turn up your light. You're going to have more opportunities given to you to shine your light than you've ever had before. And these technologies are quite useful in that capacity, right? Because COVID has shown us that we can connect with people all around the world and share beautiful ideas and collaborate and make music and do all kinds of beautiful things. It can't be stopped. The light cannot be stopped. These forces of self-serving entities cannot exist in the future. Like it's already all the prophecies, and I study a lot of prophecies from a lot of different traditions, but they all talk about the same thing. This moment in human history where there's two paths that humanity is on, and the one path of service to self ends, and the only path that continues forward is the path of the unified collective human consciousness that is in service of the planet, is in service of life, is in service of creating a more beautiful place to live for all beings. So the technologies that we gain from that change are going to be incredible. We're going to be living in a completely different reality, and it's not going to be too long. There's also something that's coming that I should talk about as well. It's in many of the traditions, is in the Vedic traditions, as well as what some of the insiders from these secret programs talk about, is that there's going to be a solar reset, or what they call a solar sneeze, or there's different terms for it. It's like a giant solar flare, a giant flare, but a flare where the sun actually goes out for a little while, and that flare hits the planet, and it's called Samvadic fire. But it's happened before. It's in all the traditions, and they say like the sky turns to liquid gold, and you see rainbows, and like there's all kinds of things that happen. And the people who have a very low frequency are don't do well with this energy wave. They don't. So that's one of the reasons why all these spiritual traditions are, if you follow them all, they all say the same: raise your frequency, become more loving, release the density of these heavy emotions. And the love light that hits us when this solar event happens is going to raise the whole planet's frequency in a way that is completely unknown, it's unexpected, and will be absolutely beautiful. So that's how I see it, based on the studying that I do and kind of multidisciplinary approach. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Actually, I loved it. Yeah, I was just thinking as you were talking too. I had a thought that came through. If everyone had a bit of an awakening, and I wonder how much would that overwhelm things. In other words, if people switched on and were to become awake, because there's so many people asleep. That's why we have the hatred. We have all these issues. If everyone snapped on, I wonder what that would. It seems like it'd be overwhelming. It'd almost be like another blast of cosmic light coming from it, in a good way, but
yes, I don't know if you've done any plant medicines, but there are several, and if you take one, you're like, you get an instant hit, and it can be very traumatizing.
Come on, Frank, we gotta get there. What's going on, buddy?
And Indy has been promising me grace for a long time, and I think I'm ready.
Well, I think this light that's coming in is actually acting like what you would do in a medicine journey.
Yeah.
It is every human being right now is being affected by the Schumann resonance going higher and higher. You can't, you live on the planet. It's affecting your frequency. And, that is forcing the crap out of everybody. I don't know a single person that's not going through it in some way in their interpersonal reality. Having to face their mortality, having to face illnesses, having to face family, the trauma in their family. It's hitting everybody. I don't know anyone who's not dealing with stuff that is, you can't just talk about the weather anymore. That reality is gone. People are like, they want to talk about stuff that's really happening. And so that's a beautiful change. What we have to do as light workers, we need to continue to push ourselves so that when these bigger changes happen and the collapse of basically the control system goes away, we are prepared to help as many people as possible make that transition. Because it will be difficult for people to realize that they've been lied to their entire lives. The education system, all the processes, all the politicians, that's nothing but lies. So their reality was based on a false narrative. That's going to blow people's minds up, and they're going to have a hard time making a transition into something different. But if you are already a super loving being, and this is, I like the I Ching, I follow the I Ching. It's one of my main teachers, but the I Ching says, that is, if you align yourself with the sage and you are following the sage wisdom, then people can follow you. And if you are being a steady influence and you are on the path, then people will see that, and they will notice that you are you have a foundation, and they will ask and want to follow that foundation. And so then you will be able to share. And it's like the dog whisperer Caesar says, humans are the only people who follow instability in leaders. Well, that is changing. because people are going to see how unstable, how egomaniac, narcissistic our system is, and they're going to have to come to terms with that. They've supported it for all these years and the harm that that's done to the planet and everybody and the children, and they're going to have to puke that out. And they're going to have some loving support around them so they can puke it out and move on. But it's going to be a lot of healing, a lot of grieving, and a lot of healing that's coming up. And if you do your grieving and healing and let the collective old narrative go now, you're going to be in the position to be of the biggest service to the planet here coming up not too short. In the Peruvian tradition, they said we got a couple more years of chaos, and then this solar event or some other big event's going to happen, and we're going to have a new reality on the planet. So they're like 2024. And even in the Peruvian tradition and the classes that my wife took in Peru, they've been telling people, when this darkness, this time of darkness comes, it's a short period, day or two. They said, you need to be ready to pray and chant and sing and do ceremony and hold the light for all the people around you that are going to be freaking out. And you need to be able to be the one that's like, what's happening, this is a good thing, and that you can hold that light for that time of darkness that we're going to have to go through. So I'm putting as much out there as I know with everybody I know, so that we can all prepare to go through this process. And by the way, when the solar thing resets, what I've heard from the insiders is that also destroys all the AI technology. That this solar flare, this massive solar flare, comes in and it destroys all of these type of technologies, and that allows the new technologies to come out full force, because there's nothing holding it back at that point.
Yeah, that is a truth, because I was in Germany at a conference years ago, and we were talking about things that would have any type of demagnification. So a solar flare would basically
wipe it all out.
Wipe out. Yeah, I mean,
yes.
Yeah. And I also like what you're saying. Sorry, Indigo. Okay. Oh, I was just saying, what Grace was saying as far as the light and the teaching. I mean, I wasn't trying to get biblical, but the idea that, again, there's going to need to be the light workers, as you said, and warriors, because then there would be a mass confusion of when they realize what is the reality of something, that they're like, oh, this is really what it's meant to be. All this other stuff is superfluous, and that's hard. People that don't have a grounding, with the pandemic, it made people become aware that I have to consciously do something different. Oh, I wake up in the morning, yawn, get out of bed, brush my teeth, put my clothes on, grab my car keys, get into work, and I zone out. I'm at work, I get to work, and then I come home, and then a year passes. Oh, what did I do? But now we're consciously aware of much more. Oh, I have somebody else in my household. I'm meeting someone, and so this, I see it moving in that direction that you're talking about.
Awareness is expanding. And for everybody, even the densest people, their awareness has expanded and will continue to expand. So that expansion is the higher frequencies of light hitting the planet. That's why I say more light's coming onto the planet. And so even I've had in my personal family, I've had changes with relatives that I never thought would be possible. I've healed relationships with my parents. I've had my siblings call me for shamanic sessions when they were like very conservative Christians and were total skeptics of what I was doing. And they're like, I'm facing my demons. Please help me. I'm traumatized and I can't sleep. And I'm like, well, let's do a session. We can get that, So it's if you are just showing up to do what you're here to do, to help humanity, whatever gifts, whatever your genius is, everybody's a genius because we're all connected to the light. That if you follow that light and drop heavy, dense traumas, you will become more of a genius, and that genius will be in service, and you will have whatever you do, you'll be so busy doing it, helping everybody that, that's what we're doing. That's why we're being called forward. It's because we're going to be very busy helping a lot of people. But right now is the time to meditate, be slow, focus on the inward journey. All the astrology the last few years has been like, do your spiritual inward journey. It has been like, Saturn's been like, no, you can't move forward until you do this spiritual work. Even now, Saturn is squaring this Pluto, this Uranus conjunction in Taurus, which all my planets in Taurus, by the way. So this is hitting me big time.
Dude, I'm a Taurus.
Beautiful. You're getting this beautiful hit right now. But Saturn is not going to let you pass Taurus and Uranus to get the hit, to get the beautiful expansion that is possible through Uranus, until you've done the checks on this internal process, going deep inside and figuring out what are you truly holding from your lineage? What traumas do you have, and have you released them? And if you've done that work, you are now on an expansion path, big time. You are going to explode like a supernova in the light realm, and that's going to, help everybody. So do your work, it just go in. If you're frustrated and triggered, go in, find where it lives, feel those frustrations and triggers and anger. It usually has to do with our ancestry. We all came in and inherited an ancestry, and that ancestry holds the trauma of humanity all the way as far back as till we got, everyone got kicked off their land and colonized. So you got to find that, and you got to heal it, and then you got to bring that love to the collective. So I'll stop. Sorry, I don't want to talk too much. All right, I've already gone too much. All right, thank you.
No, I would say not, Grace. Everything that you're saying is like so completely resonating, and it's really comforting. It's so comforting for my soul to hear everything that you're saying, because I've been like really feeling a lot of depression and anger. So it's just a reminder, okay, I need to do more of my work around the source of those emotions.
Yeah, it's I mean, 99% of the time in the client work I do, the source is your childhood experience of the adults around you that carried those feelings and imprinted you with them. And it's quite a journey to find those imprints, to be like, oh, maybe my parents didn't love me the way I thought, and maybe they imprinted me with a depression and an anger, and I need to now I have to go and heal that in myself. Because the ultimate truth is that, we are these pure, loving little children that come in, and we're the little godlight, and then we get this massive, heavy imprint put on us, and we have to clear that off and become these beautiful children that we are again. And what do children do? They play, sing, and dance in this beautiful garden of heaven. In the Peruvian tradition that I'm from, or that I practice in, they're like, we never got kicked out of the garden. The Garden of Eden is right here in front of us. It is the earth. This is the garden of heaven. That's why we're here, to come here and play. And I like the law of one. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of the law of one. It's quite good. But in the law of one, these are the beings that supposedly created the whole Egyptian religion. But they say the whole purpose of humanity is to plant gardens and build temples and worship God. That's it. That's why we're here. Build temples, make gardens, and worship. So I love it. That's what I'm here to do. That's all I do.
And I do want to acknowledge Shanti. Thank you for being patient and being there. And I want to get your insights with that, and maybe like some like cosmic vibrations to kind of like help us worship God. And like Grace said, like we're planting seeds is both physical and emotional, right? But I think worshiping God comes in so many amazing, beautiful forms, and I think you've shown us some really beautiful ones. So I'm really excited to hear from you and hear some music too. Oh wait, you're muted.
Yeah, Satnam Rishi. The last few weeks I have been involved with family, Easter, birthdays, and so forth. So I missed you all, so I'm glad to be here. I just wanted to throw in a few things of what Grace said. As far as what Mark was talking about, he didn't have a lot of time to respond. I've known Sudama Mark Kennedy for 22 years. He is a highly spiritual being, and I think, Grace, that he would agree with you. He just didn't have any time to go into the very different
I realize that. And I wasn't
spirit.
criticizing him at all, but I just wanted to make a comment. Like, let's be very careful about comparing ourselves to being like computer-like. So that's all it was. Yeah.
He's talking about the different systems in the body, which I work with sound, and I totally have to agree that we are, in some respect, part of us is like computers. I teach people how to establish certain work with the neural pathways in their brain through sound. And then I've also realized that even with the ragas, with the modes of music, it's almost like, Aldous Huxley talked about the doors of perception. every raga is a totally different vibration. Just as a language, I'm a linguist as well. And it's like going through a different door of perception. So you're always shifting your consciousness. So I just want to put that out there. All these different systems within us, that does not separate us from source that comes in and also ignites these different neuron pathways for us to work with to be in the flow. So there are so many levels to all of this. So I don't want to get any more deeper into that, but I think I really would like to offer, since we wanted to go into a meditative place, I think I would like to offer in the Rag Bhairavi, which is to the goddess of the universe, just a few phrases of Alap, which is short improvisation, and then go into this invocation of Jagata Janani, the mother of the universe. And I have not opened up my voice yet this morning, so we'll see. So this is in the Drupad tradition where we improvise on sacred syllables, which we call the Nom Tom syllables. Jagata Janani, Jagata Janani, Jwala Mukhi Mata Sarasvati Vidya Nani Dayani Dukharani Jagata Janani, Jagata Janani, Mata, 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 Saraswati, Mata, Mata, Jagata Janani, Jagata Jagata Janani, Jani, Mata, Jagata Janani, Jagata Janani, Mata. Saraswati Jagata Janani Mata 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 Saraswati Jagata Janani Mata Jagata Janani Jagata Janani Jagata Janani Jema.
Thank you, Shanti ji.
Thank you, Shanti.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
I have some awesome people behind me here too. Like, do any of you want to say anything or add anything? You guys are thinking. Any thoughts?
I've just been really enjoying this discussion and this container of being able to share where we're at, all what we're all feeling, and there's clearly a lot of healing that many of us are doing right now, and I think it's really important to have spaces like this. So I'm just really grateful for all of you for showing up. This has really been hard time for Rishi and for us, everything that's transpired. And so it's just very special. So to be able to share music and mantra and just community with you all, I feel like this is where the true healing happens. So thank you guys.
You're just feeling good.
Yeah, no, and just I guess just to add on to that, I think a lot of even what's been shared today, I hadn't even thought about, and they were new perspectives and new ways of seeing the world and being within it, and so I feel very full and enlightened by hearing these different perspectives. Especially because it has been a struggle, and so leaning into these new ways of healing are really important.
Thank you for inviting me into this, and thank you for your beautiful.
Mr. Mick, I saw a guitar there. Were you gonna throw some universal language in there?
Sure, I'm a little shy still with a guitar, but it's been my something that I pick up every once in a while, and so sometimes I just leave myself on mute and I'm playing along, like while Grace was speaking. I was like kind of giving him musical accompaniment. And it's like, yeah, this is cool. So I don't know. I guess I just play a few riffs. Maybe I'll play some chords and somebody wants to sing, something like that.
Guru Nam.
Yeah, I'll see if if I feel inspired to join in.
Okay.
And we welcome you, Mick, wherever you are.
Thank you. Yeah. All right.
Mick,
Yeah, can you hear me?
yeah, you might have to change on the microphone. Like
Oh yeah.
you have to change that to the audio settings to low, to not be on auto background.
Oh, I see.
To change it to low, and then we could hear the guitar because they like the talk. Speaking of AI, it's deciding that we don't deserve to hear certain frequencies for
Oh,
us, huh?
okay. Oh, I see. Just take off the automatic just adjust microphone volume, that one.
And put it on low. Yep.
You hear it better now? I also put my
Oh yeah.
mic down further, so maybe that helps. So now my mic's practically on the guitar, but that might help. Yeah, like I said, this is the first time I've actually played the guitar on Zoom, or even in public for anybody for like 10 years. Beautiful.
Oh, thank you. That was amazing.
Thank you for singing. I love that.
Yeah, that's what like I felt inspired to do, looking at the ocean and just thinking about like divine mother. That was really a beautiful riff.
So the ocean was collaborating. I felt her.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Powerful and gentle at the same time.
yeah.
I think Shanti ji said something earlier in the chat. All rivers, all wait, what was it? The ocean refuses no rivers, right?
There is a beautiful Sufi chant. The ocean refuses no river. Ishka lama budlela illallah. Love, lover, and beloved. If you have some time, I will share it with you.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the words are really simple. The ocean refuses no river. There's a few other verses. One is the mountain refuses no eagle. The other one is the open sky refuses no rainbow. And the last one is the open heart refuses no true love. And then the refrain is Ishq Allah. Ishq is love. Ishq Allah, of course, Allah, the lover. So love, lover, and beloved. Ishq Allah. Mabud. Mabud is the sweetheart, the beloved. Mabud Lela. Ishq Allah. Mabud Lela. So it's a call and response chant. I believe Guru Nam knows it, right, Guru Nam?
Yes, I do. Do you want me to sing along, or
You know,
I don't know if it comes through.
It doesn't. It's with the delay. It's really difficult. You were also broken up in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, I will be singing along though.
Okay.
On mute.
The ocean refuses no river, no river. The ocean refuses no river, no river. Ishq Allah ma'bud lillah illallah. Ishq Allah ma'bud lillah illallah. The ocean refuses no river, no river. 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 The mountain refuses no eagle, no eagle. The mountain refuses no eagle, no eagle. Ishq Allah ma'bud lillah illallah. Ishq Allah ma'bud lillah illallah. The open sky refuses no rainbow, no rainbow. The open sky refuses no rainbow, no rainbow. Ishq Allah ma'bud lillah illallah. Ishq Allah ma'bud lillah illallah. The open heart refuses no true love, no true love. The open heart refuses no true love, no true love. Ishq Allah ma'bud lillah illallah. Ishq Allah ma'bud lillah illallah. The ocean refuses no river, no river. The ocean refuses no river, no river. Ishq Allah ma'bud lillah illallah. Ishq Allah ma'bud lillah illallah.
Ah, what does the ocean actually sound like, Gurunam?
Yeah, let me see. Can you hear that? Oh, there we go.
She's very calm over there. Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was really beautiful. Um, I can't explain how much I am like so grateful for all of you to be here. Like not just for me, but I feel more galvanized. I feel my sword is sharpened. You know, my spiritual sword is sharpened, and I can go out in the world and represent my ancestors and what they've done to get us here, and what they've shared, the knowledge they've and what they just and to represent that well. And so I'm really grateful for all of you that I feel strong. And oh my God, who's that guru? Who's that guru over there? Little guru guy. Is he gonna share any chant with us? Who let the dogs out?
That's Ava.
Oh,
She's 3 months old.
oh wow.
And she was listening to Shanti and came over by me. So
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
Uh,
You know what it is? The animals love the tambura. I don't know how it comes over there, but I've always had my cat sit on my lap, and when I teach, my friends' dogs come running, and I think it's the overtones of the tambura.
I think so, because she was over there and then she was kind of sleeping in there. She walked over and she came up by my lap. She wanted to see what was all the beautiful music.
So she's a blue healer?
No, she's actually a border collie. It's called a red merle.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
Such
she's
sweetness.
a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's so chill. Nice.
Oh yeah, she was napping.
Well, you'll have to get a tambura recording. You'll have to buy a tambura recording online and just get one
Absolutely.
of those voice apps and players. You'll be calm when you leave the house, I tell you.
Absolutely. Well, as Grace was talking about animals, they certainly are a wonderful cure-all to many things.
Absolutely. I have 2 cats. Without them, I mean, I don't know if I would have survived this whole lockdown as well.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, Shanti, what's your thoughts, since you're a linguist, what, you don't have to spend too much, but I was thinking about Noam Chomsky. What would you, what would you say to Noam Chomsky? Because I like reading some of his things, but since you're a linguist, I was wondering what your thoughts about him as an individual.
Oh, I think what he puts out in the world is really, really important for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's one of my heroes.
Oh, good. I just wanted to, check in because I've started to read much more of him. And I think I shared it with Indy. And I think he's fascinating. And I love to hear some of his lectures that are on. He was I think he was a guest speaker at a Harvard thing in Zoom. And I just find him fascinating.
Well, isn't it interesting that his name is Gnome, like the gnome, Gnome?
Yes, yes.
And it's so important that we are very, very much aware of all these different beings that are here on the planet. I am convinced, and you might think I'm woo-woo, I am convinced that planet Earth is one of those places where beings from all different planets come and they're supposed to learn how to cohabit.
Mm.
Oh, interesting.
So I see people who are, oh my God, oh, that's a fairy. Oh, that's an elf. Oh, that's a hobbit. That's a gnome. That's a mermaid being. I mean, and then we have supposedly the cat planet and the whale planet and the dog planet. And I believe all this stuff, but you know what?
Now, what would be fun, Shanti ji, is if we can get Noam Chomsky to join one of our kirtans and for him to chant. Can you imagine Noam Chomsky chanting?
Well, today he looks a little bit like Socrates
Yeah,
because he's got the beard and,
yeah, he's interesting. I'm surprised he gets away with half the things he says. I'm like, wow, what kind of what kind of deal does he have that he can like say this stuff?
Probably
Well, I
because it's
think,
so out there that they think a lot of people won't believe it anyway. So let's just leave him alone.
and I think he has the magic gnome powers, as Shanti said. So you could find him in your garden, and then the next day he's gone.
They can't catch him. That's why.
Absolutely.
Gurunam, do you have anything? We're almost reaching our time, but I wanted to acknowledge. Does anybody else have anything else to share or say or, express?
Yeah, I'm just so happy to be here. I say this every time I come, but I'm so happy to be here with all of you. Yeah, this has been a very like triggering time for me. And so I was really happy to hear everything that Grace was sharing, and okay, I have my work cut out for me. Yeah, and it's just really, really nice to be like connected with soul family, star family, people on a similar journey, light workers, and yeah, because I feel the energetic shifts like hardcore, and see it, every day when I'm at work, and I'm in it. I'm like in my stuff. And so it's just really nice to know that I'm like not alone in that journey. That's really healing and comforting for me. So it's just really, really it's community and connection, like human connection is so transformative, powerful, healing. Yeah, and I love the like intuitive flow. I love the Zenda vibe of these things, It's fun. It feels like play. It just feels like so good. So good.
It's the one Zoom call that we're actually like happy to be a part of. For me personally, right? It's like otherwise I'm like, oh God, I don't want to be on a screen anymore. But it's just so lovely to be with all of you and and to flow and to play and to not be, to just go where it takes us. So
Yeah, I love dropping in because, I've come in and out. Some days I can't make it, but I love dropping in because these are all new. Some of you are new that I have not been seen before. But what I always love about this is that there's the safety, you can be who you are to your best ability. And there's a safety that's really generous. So I thank you both for, putting this together, and then all the wonderful people. It's like, I think, Shanti, I go back to I love the idea of the gnomes and the different spirits. And to me, that's magical. And the fact that we could think that way. And when you said that, I remember dropping in a couple of weeks ago and seeing the same treasure troves of spirits that come in. I'm like, wow, this is such a rich, I want to be friends with all these people and tap into their superpowers, or the lights. Wait, I got to show you this too. This, can't deny everybody these sunflowers,
Wow. Wow. Beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah, bringing them in. They've
That
been
was
staring at me.
I was wondering who was singing in the background, Frank. So now we know. Wait,
Yeah,
what?
see? They were.
I also love getting to see every week where Gudanam is in the world. Like I'm just like, where in the world is Gudanam today? So awesome. It's so fun. And she's just always holding it down and just really honoring you, sister. Cause like it's tough, and I can't imagine what you guys are going through with this. And we're here for you and you're not alone. And anytime, we don't have to wait till Sundays to do this. It's nice to know that it's here, but we can also do like impromptu kirtans, whenever. And yeah, so.
No, I'm really gonna take Grace's thing. I'm gonna start playing
Thank you.
now. So go ahead, Gurunam.
Thank you so much. That feels really good, Dee. I may actually take you up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's some days, man, where it's just like, oh, bogged down. I mean, my baseline, thank God, is like high, is like joy and love. I'm really happy that like there's more days where I'm in that space. But yeah, sometimes it's just like everything kind of compounds.
Yeah.
And so that's when you really want your people, your community to like remind you it's okay.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing the ocean to us today, Gurunam. Yeah.
A show.
Actually, when we see you, I can even smell the water. There's something that the whole thing is coming out. It's beautiful.
Yeah, actually, I picture us like all on the beach right now, just like having a beach music, and I just can't wait for that. So
I'll bring the watermelon.
So you're in Topanga, Rishi?
No, I'm in El Cerrito in the north of the Berkeley Hills.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And where is everybody else? Where is Mick? Where is Frank from?
I'm literally 5 minutes from Topanga. I'm out in Calabasas.
Oh, okay. I used to live in California in Santa Barbara. Now I'm in
So
Oregon.
you know it. Yeah. So Topanga is where I take my dogs to go hiking. So we're there all the time.
Yeah, it's beautiful there. And
I'm in Echo Park, Los Angeles. Yeah.
We've got all these Californians, except for me and Gurunam.
Shantiji, where are you?
I'm in Eugene, Oregon.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, we have very nice spring weather, and we even had summer weather last week. Now we're getting a little bit of rain, thank God, which we need, but we have such beautiful nature here, and it's just lush and green and wonderful.
Oh, now we know who to visit when we're up there, huh, Frank and Mick?
Absolutely, absolutely. Mi casa es su casa.
Yeah. Oh man, thank you guys. Well, I feel good. I feel complete, and if everybody else does, I want to wish you all a wonderful rest of the day, a good start to the week. Charadikala, like I always say, Charadikala. Let's continue moving about with whatever you do with eternal optimism. Like let's face whatever's going on with incredible optimism, loving joy, and building our strength. Like what Grace said, I'm so excited. I know some of you guys personally. Shantiji, I've connected through this, but you guys are all so powerful already. And so let's keep putting that power out there and sharing love and compassion and just by, like what Grace was saying, just by being in places where there's darkness and ignorance, transmuting those spaces, right? And just doing it even more. Like, and maybe we can team up more as well. And I look forward to that in the real world. Frank, Gurunam, Shantiji, Mick, we there's so much we could do. You guys are doing great stuff. So let's keep doing it. Thank you, guys.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Indy.
Thank you. I feel
Blessings.
Thank you.
Sat. Everyone's like, wait, what's going on here? I love you guys. I love you guys so much. Be well. Peace.
that.
Blessings.
Yeah,
Love.
indeed.
Blessings.
See everybody.
How do I shut this off? How do I shut this thing off?
Leave.
End? Wait, how do I end it?
End is on the
bottom right
corner. It's like the
Go down to leave, and then it says end meeting for all.
But I don't want it to
You can
end.
stop the recording.
I want it to keep going. Shanti.